Remember, folks, I'm just a Muppet in a chair. Don't take me seriously. What's up, my lovely people? How we doing? Hope you're having a good day. It seems like this week has been top 10 stuff. I keep coming across top 10 things about the lovely United Kingdom, but this is the top things you should never do in the United Kingdom. Top 10 things you should never, ever do in the United Kingdom. So this video is brought to you by Crunch. I'll leave a link in the description below this video if you want to check out their channel. But you know, it immediately, and I think I've said this in one of my previous videos I did earlier in the week. Top 10 things you should never do in the UK. I think you can minimize that list to one thing. And that, of course, is don't be a... If you're visiting the UK or anywhere else in the world, don't be a... Okay? Of course, I'm going to bleep that out because that's a very frowned upon word in the YouTube establishment these days. But I like to follow the rules. So, but anyway, let's get into the video and see what... Whenever it is I get over there, these are the things I should never do in the UK. So, I got to pay attention. Remember to like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want. And let's check out this video. God, I can't even talk anymore. Here we go.
Let's start by saying that in no way are we trying to scare you away from visiting the UK. But if you are a tourist or an international student in the UK, then wouldn't it be better to know a few things that could offend people there? We mean, you don't want to hurt anyone with your actions or words, let alone get into trouble in a foreign land. People would understand that you may take a while to adjust to the new surroundings and customs. But if you want to save yourself from embarrassing situations as a newcomer in the UK, we have compiled a list of things that you should avoid doing there.
All right, hit me.
Number 1, calling the United Kingdom England. Before you take the flight to anywhere in the UK, know its full form. UK stands for the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Do you realize what this means?
Yes.
The UK consists of 4 countries: Scotland, England, Northern Ireland,
and Wales.
Moreover, each country has its own distinctive culture, national identity, and government. So before you begin your sentence with, England's landscapes are, confirm that you really are in England, and not Scotland, which is a separate country.
Do people really make that mistake when they visit the UK? They're walking around Scotland saying this English countryside is beautiful. If it does, I don't know what could happen, but I imagine that, especially that specific scenario I just laid out for you, that the people of Scotland would be very, very angry.
Number 2, ask if they know the Queen. How would you feel if some tourist in the US asked if you knew Donald Trump? You'd call that person plain stupid for assuming that everyone breathing the US air knows the president. So how do you expect people in the UK to personally know the royal family? More than 60 million people live in the UK, and over 8 million of those live in Greater London alone. There is no way that these people know their monarch more than the internet knows. You won't offend people with this question, but will definitely make them laugh. In your face.
Yeah, that's... Do people really do these things? I mean, we're only at number 2. We got to get all the way to number 10. But it's already with the first 2, it like blows my mind that people would really do those 2 things. I don't know what seems worse, that the first one or the second one. I think, you know, I feel like the first one you could be patient with the person and correct them. Like, hey, this is Scotland, you muppet. This is not England. But with the second one, it's like, it would just be... I don't think people would be really angry with you, but they would just tell you to fuck off, you know? Oh my God, we're in the UK now. Hey, do you know the Queen? Yeah, fuck off. That's the proper response for something like that, in my opinion.
Number 3, block the escalator. Escalators are common in most countries, and we don't give much thought about the do's and don'ts while we are standing on it. Well, you'd be surprised to know that there is indeed a wrong way to stand on an escalator, at least in the UK. It is an unspoken rule in this part of the world that if you want to stand still, you should stay on the right-hand side. Why? Well, the left-hand side of the escalator is reserved for those people who are in a hurry.
The fast lane. The fast lane does apply to escalators as well. I am in total agreement with you guys on that. Yes. Stay on the right side of the escalator if you're not going to move.
You know, the lot who believe that by running through the escalator and saving
Some
about
people
30
need to
seconds,
get somewhere in a
they
hurry.
would get to their destination on time. Just remember, if you don't want to be pushed past, then stay on the right. Number 4. Jump a queue. Many of us don't give much importance to a queue. You know.
Isn't that like universal? Not that shouldn't be strictly exclusive to the United Kingdom. That should be known worldwide. You don't do that. Don't cut in front of the line. Get in the back of the line, you muppet.
The ones we see outside a dessert kiosk. Because, well, an ice cream craving can't wait. But don't do that while you're in the UK, simply because that is bad manners. Even if you think it is a petty thing and shouldn't annoy anyone, you aren't doing it here.
You know where I see that this happen the most of all the places? I see it happen at carnivals. Or not carnivals, fairs. Which, the fair, you know, it's like a traveling amusement park. Every time I go to the fair, I see people skipping, cutting in front of the lines. It drives me nuts. And I say something every time. Like, hey, this is the line. Get in the back. And it's usually teenagers. But sometimes it'll be, you know, full-blown adults. They were like 50 years old and they do it. And they're the ones that talk back. Hey, get in the back of the line. Oh, I didn't know this was a line. You see everybody standing in the line, don't you? You fucking quack.
Before you attempt any such adventure, know that those people ahead in the queue came here first and deserve to be served first. Plus, why do you want any inconvenience in the form of a fight? Stay in the queue, wait for your turn, and all will go swiftly. Number 5. Pick up a rented car. We don't mean to say that driving in this country is illegal, but you can get yourself and others in trouble by driving. We have created a nice bit of suspense here. We deserve a pat on the back. Jokes aside, the thing is that you will have to drive on the left side of the road here. And if you come from a nation where the opposite is the norm, you might have a tough time learning this.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. But I've been told by several people who follow this channel that, hey, Boomer, you will get used to it after just a short while, which is very reassuring. I thank you guys for that who have mentioned that I'll get used to it pretty quick. But I'm still incredibly nervous about it. I mean, it's I dare say it almost keeps me up at night. That's the level of nervousness that I have about it. It's even just thinking about it now, it's making me worried. Because, you know, I don't want to... Here's the thing. When it comes to that, I don't want to put anybody in danger over there. If I'm driving over there and I'm not used to it and it's difficult for me, that's the thing about the road. Like, every time you get in a vehicle, you are putting your own life at risk. And if you don't follow the rules of the road correctly, then you are putting everyone else's life at risk. So, I try to hammer this point to people I know in my own life. Queen Boomer's one of them. I stress to her, like, hey, pay attention to the road and please be careful. But yeah, anyway, it's still with all the reassurances that you guys have given me, it still makes me nervous.
When you are new to a place, such experiments are the last thing you should be doing, right? Plus, remember you don't know your way around, so you'd be consulting maps on a busy road while getting used to driving on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Number 6, talk about money. You don't ask someone how much they earn or how much money they have in their pocket unless you are family or very close friends, right? Come on, that's basic decency. People in the UK might feel offended if you ask too many questions about money. In fact, boasting about your wealth is also not going to be appreciated. so keep the big bucks in your pocket.
I feel like kind of feel the same way. Like you don't talk shop in public with people you don't know. I feel like that's maybe it's you will hear people in the States sometimes brag about how much money they make, and every time I just roll my eyes and go, all right, dude, you're so cool. But I could get behind this definitely.
Number 7, greet inappropriately. Meeting someone for the first time and experiencing that awkward situation where you go for a hug while the other stops you with a handshake. Ever been there?
That's the dick, because people on the chicks, both cheeks when you meet them for the first time. What is this? Italy? France? Do they do that? I feel like that would be like an Italian or French thing as a greeting, but I don't know. Maybe more so Italian.
If you don't want to find yourself in that situation in the UK, just go for a handshake, because they aren't too comfortable making physical contact with strangers. Hugging and kissing on the cheek is reserved for people they know well and are comfortable with. Oh, and what do you say when someone asks you, "How are you?" By no means is this a cue that you can start off your saga of nasal allergies if you don't want the person to never see your face again. Every "how are you" is followed by "fine, thank you," and nothing else.
This one makes me laugh because it sounds like the people of the UK do not want to have, oh, how you doing? Oh, let me tell you my life story. They don't want to hear that shit. I don't either. So I feel the same way about that. Unless I'm really, unless I ask you specifically, hey, what's going on? Are you all right? Like, what's bothering you? That's when I want to know, because it's usually a close friend.
Number 8, fake their accent.
Oh,
no matter how many times you have practiced the British or Scottish accent, don't use it, because it probably isn't that good.
Please tell me nobody's done this to you. Please tell me nobody's done this to you, dude. Oh my God. I can imagine how many times somebody's gotten punched in the face for doing this, if it's happened more than a couple times. Because I would... Why the fuck? Like, when I was in Greece, I didn't try to do a Greek accent in English. Like, what the fuck, man?
People aren't going to like it if you force their accent, and especially when you are doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
You will make it look like you aren't a part of them, and are desperate to lose your identity and mix with them. Wouldn't it be better if you first make friends with natives of Wales, and then try a Welsh accent? Number 9, voice opinions about Brexit.
Oh, yeah. No. I remember I did a reaction video a while back. I think it's still up on the channel. It was I was reacting to Mr. Nigel Farage, because he was saying some wild shit in the European Parliament. I didn't even comment about Brexit. I don't have an opinion on it. I'm not getting involved, because why would I? I don't know shit about it. But just reacting to Nigel Farage alone, regardless of how you feel about him, but just reacting to him alone. This was about 2 years ago, but I did that one video, and it was like an equal amount of people like, how dare you react to this asshole? And on the flip side, like, Nigel Farage is the greatest human being on earth. It felt like I had just done like a reaction to Donald Trump, really. So, but I hadn't even commented on the whole Brexit thing. At least I don't think I did. If I did, I apologize. But I'm like 99% sure I didn't even comment about it, because I don't know about it. All I know is that you guys left a few years back, which is, whatever. But just reacting to him alone, it set off like a fucking shockwave through my chest. I was like, holy shit, what did I just do? What did I get myself into? So, yeah. If there's any Americans watching this and you could travel to the UK, do not mention Brexit under any circumstances, because it's like, talking about Donald Trump here. Like, you have all these people who fucking love him, and you have all these people who think he's Satan. And then there's the people in the middle like me who get caught in the crossfire who just go, leave me the fuck alone. So I totally get it.
We know that Brexit is the topic of discussion in pretty much the entire world, but you can't be walking around spitting your views about it when you're in the UK. People there are directly related to it, and your views can be taken personally.
Yes.
And what happens when someone takes your casual opinion personally and in a negative light?
A fight.
Yes, they get offended and might beat you up. Okay, maybe we went too far with the beating up part, but you still don't want to risk it. Number 10, mess with the Queen's Guard. Did that
Oh,
bushy hat fool you?
no.
Oh, people, the Queen's Guard isn't your friend, and you aren't forgetting that.
I've actually seen videos of people fucking with the Queen's Guard, and I guess it's the King's Guard now that the Queen has passed. Rest in peace. But and I haven't just watched these videos recently or in the last 2 years since I started this channel. I've watched videos of that from years ago, and every time I'm livid. Because I'm like, why the fuck would you be that stupid? And I've seen that, like, you know, if you get in their way, like these idiots that, you know, try to mess with them, and then, especially when they're marching or moving to a different spot, if you stand in their way, they literally stop and scream at you, make way for the Queen's Guard! You know, and yeah. And sometimes they put their weapon out like they're going to fucking use it. And, you know, I think they have the right to, because it's it's basically a military post, and your civilian butt is messing that up. So every time I've seen it, it makes me livid too. Like, just fucking. Some people just want to be, you know, truly be a pain in the ass, and it's unfortunate. But you know. Anyway.
You may fool around with him a bit, and he won't pay much attention, let alone punish you. But there is a line drawn, and you must never cross it, because the consequences won't be pretty.
Yes.
Never, we repeat, never touch the guard. Because once you do that, prepare yourself for a world of hurt. Do you want that gun? The one that was fascinating you to be
he pointed it right at him. Look at that.
We repeat, never touch the guard.
I think I've seen this
once
before.
Once you do that, prepare yourself for a world of hurt. Do you want that gun? The one that was fascinating you to be pointed at you? If not, maintain a respectable distance from the guard. He deserves it. How was your experience in the UK? Tell us in the comment section below.
I need to make one, so thank you very much. Top 10 things you should never do in the UK. I can get down with every single one of those. In fact, there's some of them in there, like, you know, don't cut the lines and queues. Stay on the right of the escalator so that the people on the left in the fast lane can get past you. I can get down. I already felt that way. But yeah, don't mess with the fucking Queen's Guard. Don't ask if you know the Queen or the King or whoever's in charge now of the royal house. It's just... like, the fact that a video like this has to be made for people... you know, once again, it comes back to the very beginning of the video. There should be one thing. There's only one thing you should adhere to when it comes to not just visiting the UK, but visiting any country. Don't be a... because everybody else will take note and they will throw you out of their country. You are a guest in their country, so don't be a prick. You know. Sometimes I want to tell, I have friends who tell me like wild stories of when they went somewhere else and got, you know, belligerent and were acting a fool. And I'm like, man, I'm glad I wasn't with you. I don't want to be the embarrassing American, you know, traveling somewhere and being an idiot. But, you know, we all have our rotten apples. Maybe the U.S. has more than others, but hopefully when the people from the United States who travel overseas to the UK have more sense, because I'm thinking of like vacation destinations like in the Caribbean, you know, like Nassau or, you know, Aruba or something, you know, or somewhere in Mexico where they go to party and just act a total fool. I feel like it's done a lot more in those places for Americans than it would be in somewhere like the UK. But maybe that we have that going for us. But yeah, top 10 things you should never do in the UK. But yeah, I agree. I totally agree with this list. What do you guys think? Do you think there was anything missing from the list? If there is, put them in the comments below. I'd be happy to read them. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the reaction. Like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want. And I'll see you all again soon. Peace out, everybody.